Yo, wagwan. Tis your boy, Jidon Legendary, and we are back with another Cyberpunk photo session. Look here, folks, this is a newer photo session, but it's going to be uploaded before some of these older ones, just because I have so much booked for April, but I didn't want to stop recording either. But I also can't wait to upload it in the next month, because technically it's this month. Okay, so this is a newer episode, but it's going to be uploaded beforehand. But anyways, this is the native gals number 2. All right, we did chocolate. Now we doing native part 2. We got Mama V, OG V, and Native V. With that being said, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, share with people join Legendary Clan Sports Channel, become legendary. I upload all things photography and cinematic, real life, virtual, and sometimes AI. With that being said, let's go. Alrighty, we have Mama V in the building. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is she called Mama V? Okay, for the newer folks here, or for the folks who might not just remember. Okay, this character here, she's supposed to be one of my older characters. Okay, she is an older woman, around somewhere up in her 50s, probably mid to semi late 50s, so probably like 55, 56 years old. Okay, it was a lot of work making a character who actually looks older, which is no easy task because V is supposed to be like fucking 21, 22 years old. Alright, so how do you make an older looking character with a character who is quite young? Well, you gotta choose the right stuff. Okay, and I think I chose the right stuff because she does look like an older, healthy woman. Alright, now the reason why I needed her to be an older woman and have the name Mama V, well, obviously that's not her name, that's just what I call her, Mama V, is because OG V, alright, this is supposed to be her mother. I haven't made her father yet because I can't. I'm having a glitch where male V, his fucking face doesn't show up. So I'm gonna make him on Xbox like I did with BG400. That way I can still do photos with my male characters too. Some of y'all probably noticed, dang, you ain't did nothing with your male characters in a hot minute. That's because they don't show up. All of their dang faces are invisible. So I gotta make them on Xbox. The downside is they're not gonna have none of that dang swag. Okay. Papa V, which is what he's gonna be called, he is supposed to be half Greek, half Native American. Mama V here is just straight Native American, which makes OG V semi-Greek and a bit of Native American. What's the ratio on that? That'd be what, 25 to 75 ratio? Maybe a 40-60. Okay, either way. Alright, Papa V, half Greek, half Native American. Mama V, full Native, which makes Lil V. Okay, and that is why she is called Mama V, because she is a mother to OG V, who would probably be in her, at this point, mid-20s. Because VV is, if I had to take a wild guess, I'm gonna say V is supposed to be, like I said, somewhere like 21, 22 maybe, because everybody calls him a kid, whether you're playing male or female V. Whether you're playing male or female V, everybody refers to him as kid. And obviously, someone who's in their very early 20s, you're more than likely gonna call kid, especially if you're like in your late 20s, early 30s, like the rest of the characters. I think Jackie's probably supposed to be like 32, 33. Judy's probably like 26, 27. Pan is probably around that age, maybe a bit older. Most characters that V is acquainted with is... Man, hold up. So you just gonna watch this much of the video, and you not even gonna subscribe? Nah, don't wave to them. They ain't even hit the subscribe button. Come on now, hit that subscribe button. It's a little bit older. Victor especially calls her kid the most. It's kind of clear the way they with the way a lot of them move around V without spoiling the story. The way a lot of them act around them lets you know that the character is pretty dang young. Cause here in Night City, okay, people ain't supposed to last that long. So when they see someone as opportunistic and as hustle driven as V, they're like, hold on. This little buster could probably get me exactly where I need to be. Okay. That is the unfortunate nature of the game, without spoiling too much. Don't nobody give a crap about V. Only a few people are actually V's good friend. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Without spoiling anything. Too much, at least. I definitely did just tell you a good base. Not a good base, but a lot of the characters. Not all of them, but a lot of the characters. So boom, that is why she's called Mama V. She is OG V's mother. Yeah, like I said, I can't make male V yet because none of my male characters have faces, and I don't know why. I ain't been able to fix it. If I log into BG400 right now, it'll still be invisible. Some of y'all probably remember that from back in like 2024 Halloween when I was explaining it, and the Halloween pictures popped up, and when you saw he was a dang ghost, and because of that I had to call the pictures the Ghost of Pyru. He wasn't supposed to be a fucking ghost though. He was supposed to be a full-bodied man. Instead, he was full-bodied, just fucking headless. He was the headless horseman of the streets and crap. Wasn't supposed to be like that at all. I made his eyes blacked out and everything. I was getting ready to make him look straight evil, dude. And he was standing over a dead maelstrom, man. That crap was supposed to be spooky, man. Instead, it was, I guess kind of spooky, but I wanted him to have just straight black eyes and his gold teeth shining off the red lights. But instead, we had got a ghostly man. Let's make sure that quality is clean. Do I have my nightlight on? I want to make sure I'm doing my pictures too yellow on accident. Oh, they are. Oops. Oh boy. Every time I do that, my eyes. That is bright. Every time I accidentally do that, I accidentally make my pictures either way too yellow or too dark. However, I think that is clear. Oops. Okay, brightness is at 100, so we're good. We're good. Never want to make the mistake of accidentally taking your photos too dark, you know? Look up and it's like, oh shoot, look at that. My lighting's been off this entire time. Make the background a slightly bit darker and then make her a slightly bit lighter. I like to have a bit of darkness on the background and really make the character pop. Person I can't do that on is my more pale characters like OGV. So boom, that's the story, man. That is why this lady is called Mama V. Okay. It was the hard, tumultuous task. I ain't never used that word in my life. It was the hard, tumultuous task of making an older looking character out of a 20-year-old. Thus creating Mama V, who looks like an older but very healthy woman. Very specific facial features that are more pronounced that I use, like this cheekbone structure and nose that gives her the cheek lines. It's not something you commonly see on a younger person. Okay, so I'm like, boom, perfect. That should work. Then because of OGV having fairly larger lips, I'm like, obviously she has to get that from somewhere. So boom. Then the eyes, they're beautiful eyes, but they look more serious. A lot of older folks tend to have a more serious look, especially if you've gone through life with a lot of stress, you know. You're gonna have more of a serious look to you, you know. And with the story that I've created with the entire family, Papa V is dead as fuck, okay? So them two, OGV, Mama V, this is why OGV is such a little hard head. Alright, that's why every time I do photo sessions with her half the dang time, or well, some of the stuff y'all don't really see, although soon y'all will. I want to do a photo session where I use my hood characters the most. That's gonna be AD, Damu, OGV, East LA V, BG400. Okay, them 5 are my most hood characters. All right, most of the time, that is the most common style of photos I do for OGV. When y'all see these photo sessions, I know y'all be seeing her look all dolled up and whatnot, but that's not what I typically have her dressed as. Most of the time, she is exactly what you would expect out of a gang member coming straight out of Watts, California. He grew up in gang life. My father was a very rare Native American Crip. That doesn't happen very often. Nowadays, it definitely is more common. You see all kinds of dang Crips. You see white Crips, Mexican Crips. It'd be crazy. I'm pretty sure there's a gang out in Cali, if I'm not mistaken, Playboy Crips. Obviously, it's predominantly black, but there are a lot of Mexican folks. There's a couple of white folks, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of those, sometimes you might think somebody is this, but they're actually that, you know what I mean? There was this one, what the fuck was his name? He was a Native American gang member, I believe a Crip specifically. I'm like, the fuck? Native American Crip? That's crazy. That is insane. I do a lot of research when I create my characters. I want to know what can and what wouldn't work. I want to make sure that when I'm creating a character, it works perfectly. In the modern day, the reason why when I do have characters that are gang members, most of them are younger because they work. I can have a character like OGV who is a Native American and a Crip because it's possible. Or a character or a lady who looks kind of white, it's possible. Because you see it a lot nowadays. If this was like the 70s, the 80s, you wouldn't have saw nothing. Possible and definitely a thing, but it wasn't common. That's like Cypress Hill. You got the main dude, Be Real, he's Cuban, and the other 2 dudes, if I'm not mistaken, are Mexican. Hey, all 3 of them fools, they were Bloods. In a predominantly black blood gang. But yet, you know, sometimes things happen. If you grow up in a spot and people think you cool as fuck and they like you and you're a great person and this and that, is very possible. Especially if you grow up in that, you know, that area. People will, you know, begin to know you. It's just bound to happen. Whether you choose it or not, you know. You're like, you know what, yeah, why not? I want to be a part of a gang. I ain't got nothing else. You know. Tragic hood story. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's just life. I'm sure a lot of the people I grew up with when I was younger, a lot of them dead or in prison. I know a few of them. Life. So, that's how she grew up. Her father was a Crip, so naturally, though her mother may not condone of such activity, she had her own problems. You know, she couldn't really stop OGV from doing, you know, gang activities. Substance abuse is a common thing in certain peoples and certain families. All right, I've lived around that. Not so much within my family. My family was mostly clean with it, which I am one of the lucky few. Certain people I grew up around weren't so lucky though, you know what I mean? Move that out the way real quick. I need to make sure these photos is clean. I'm just taking pictures. I ain't even checked them. Okay, boom. Beautiful. I'm just snapping shots and I ain't even checked nothing. He looks that way anyways. I mean, that's just the life for some folks, unfortunately. Therefore, you gotta make it realistic. Not everybody's gonna have this perfect, clean family. And OGV herself is far from a clean character. Okay? She would be a lovable character now within the later stages. But in her earlier story, I mean, Cyberpunk just starting out and about stories, and whatever story I created for her when she was younger, evil little woman, evil, evil, evil. I mean, the type of person who just go crazy for no reason. Real crash out type, not no goofy little kid on TikTok or Fortnite talking about he about to crash out. No, I mean like real deal crash out activity. Minus the getting beat up by coexisting, or not coexisting, but mine is getting beat up by, you know, the same gang you're in. There's just some people in life who are real angry. Little Miss V, OGV is definitely would have been one of those types of peoples. Real angry, punching on people for no dang reason, shooting at people just because. Your characters gotta have depth, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I create a character, they gotta have depth. Otherwise, I get bored of them. I never do anything with them. So each and every character I make, whether it's a deep story or a shallow story, will have some form of it. Hopefully the mic didn't pick that up. I burped kind of loud. If I did, I'm gonna mute it. But y'all ain't gotta hear that. But every character I create has to have a story. I don't like shallow characters because I get bored of them fast. And if I get bored of a character, it's like, why don't I got this character? So I scrap them. Okay? That's just me. I'm a real story kind of guy. If I'm making a character, they gotta be deep. Okay? Gotta be. Otherwise, as said, I will get bored of that character. This is why you see so many dang characters of mine. Why I do so many characters. I wish I could have included Mel V to more of these, but like I said, the man's head is gone, and I have genuinely no clue how to fix it. I don't even know why it happened, actually. When I was doing that Halloween video, he had a face and everything. I saved the game to get ready to do his outfit, and I was turning off the shiny skin because I had did a beach set beforehand for I don't remember what V's. If I'm not mistaken, it was Native V and 2 other characters at the time. Either way, I was doing a beach set for 3 of my characters at the time. Oh, that's right. It was Indonesian V, Native V, and I believe Samoan V. This was a long time ago, some many months ago. And when I got back on, I'm like, alright, let's do his photos. Nigga's head was gone. It was gone. I'm like, what the fuck happened? So I went back on, I turned off some of the new mods I had just added, which I'm like, it can't be those because those were just clothing mods. Now the issue I got with that is that was a long time ago. So I don't even slightly remember what clothing mods I had added that it could have possibly caused the man's fucking face to disappear. So now I gotta make them on Xbox, which I already did. But man, his photos not gonna be nearly as clean as the rest of theirs. Now, of course, I'm already knowing that most people probably won't even care that I can't do photos on him, and are perfectly a-okay with me just doing the photos on the lady characters here. But from every now and then, you know, my male characters is swaggy, and they gotta be swagged up. You know what I mean? I gotta get photos with them too. But he is literally the only character I have problems with, and that's also why I haven't been able to make Papa V. Because I wanted to make some old school style stuff with him. What I was going to do for Papa V was make it, all of his photos, I was going to make it look like they came from when, you know, back when he was a youngster, okay? Because OGV being 25, and Mama V being about 55, that would make him probably like 55, 56, 57. So a lot of his photos you would see back from when he was a youngster. This would be like the 90s. You know how a lot of old West Coast gangsters did it? Up in the front yard, weightlifting with all they dudes and crap. I was trying to do some stuff like that, but I can't now because, well, fucking skull cap disappeared and I have no clue how to fix it. So if anybody knows, let me know. Because I would like to make that happen. Okay, and then what I was also going to do is mesh some photos with Mama V and Papa V. You know, make it look like from back when they was in the 90s. I mean, give her deeper black hair, lose the gray a little bit. That's another thing I did. I gave her peppered hair. Can't really tell that much. Or maybe you can't. Well, actually, never mind, you can. She got a lot of gray. So that's another thing that helped out with that, too. I'm gonna say, you can't really tell. No, you can definitely tell. Definitely a lot of gray going on. But boom. The peppered hair, the more pronounced facial features that an older folk would have, because, you know, naturally as you get older, you know, certain fats and stuff disappear within the face, becomes slightly more gaunt. Of course, that depends on the person's build as well, but, you know, you only got so dang much here on Fallout. So much here on Skyrim? Well, I'm not thinking of Fallout and Skyrim. You only got so much here on Cyberpunk. Although one of the best bodies, man, was a thicker body, man. But that joint wasn't getting enough updates. Joint got left in the dust. It was a sad day when it happened. That was my favorite body for the characters. It just looked great, you know what I mean? It just looked great. It was well done. It was a fuller figured character. But then it stopped receiving updates. There we go. Stopped receiving updates, so then people naturally stopped making mobs for it. Then it got to a point where when I was trying to do photos, I would be using the same outfits too often. Okay, well this isn't gonna work, so it's like I'm gonna have to retire it just like everybody else did. That's the one thing too, is some of my characters aren't built the way they should be. So OGV is supposed to be short as fuck, just like her mother and father. Her father would probably be like 5'5", just stupid muscular, which isn't too far off from male V, because that dude little as fuck. So wouldn't be too far off. Mama V here would probably be like 5'1". You combinate those two fucking tiny heights, and you get an even tinier person. So OGV is supposed to be like 4'11" at best, but she's muscular, very muscular. A good mix, kind of like a Clarissa Shields type build. You know what I mean? Real thick, but healthy. You know what I mean? So that's supposed to be her build. That was the closest thing I had to that. Now I would have to make some crap myself. Problem is, I'm not a modder. I'm a photographer, baby. Real life, virtual, and sometimes AI. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Look, you know what I mean? But that was the closest thing I had. But then, you know, like I said, people stopped making mods for it because it wasn't receiving updates no more. There's shadow here at the side of her face, and I'm not liking it. Okay, there we go. People stopped making mods for it, dude. For good reason. Wasn't receiving updates no more. When stuff ain't receiving updates, there was a problem with the neck tattoo. It was halfway gone at the bottom end of the neck. Like, okay, well that looked kind of bad. There's a healthy amount of photos with Lil Miss V having half a neck tattoo. The only problem that body had was the chests were too large. Not too large as in goofy Skyrim modding too large, but too large as in for OGV's body type. They were too large. That's another thing I like to do is realism. Alright, not all my characters is gonna be fucking having gargantuan chest and all that, and you know, some of my characters is slim, some is not. Simple as that. Some are muscular, some ain't. With that, them joints was a little big. It was a little big. Okay, this ain't really. It is her body type, but it's not her fully. It's a little too much. Her neck look long as fuck. Oh, we gotta fix that. There's a little too much going on in the upper region. I like to make sure all my characters are realistic and different from each other. Otherwise, it's like, okay, they all look the fucking same. What's the point? That's another reason why I do so much research when I create a character. Make sure they have proper names. Make sure their body types are proper to what a person within that region's body type would be. You know what I mean? Facial features, all that. I like to make sure that my characters are down pat, you know what I mean? No mistakes, no mess ups, no none of that. Put that right about there. This one got all this hair on the sides, so it's a little harder to put lighting in certain places. Right about there is good. That's another issue too with Xbox for my male characters is they got them dang. I forgot that on. I forgot back in the day There was neck seam issues and wrist seam issues. Kind of forgot about that. That's number one. Number two, BG 400. He's supposed to be a large man. All right, not super tall. Probably like 5'11", 6 foot flat. He's supposed to be big as fuck. Probably like 240. I had that option here on PC. I no longer have that option here on over on Xbox. Okay, he a little dude now. He ain't supposed to be that little. It looked weird seeing him that little. I mean, over here on PC, we had the, what was it, the Adonis? That was the big muscular build. I'm like, okay, boom, this is perfect for a a slightly above average heighted man who's stupid muscular. I mean, strong as fuck. That was supposed to be BG 400. Now, he a regular looking little dude when he not supposed to be, alright? Fucking MLV is like 5'5". Not that there's a problem with that, obviously. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just saying for the character, that's incorrect. I mean, I know some people are like, hey man, there's nothing wrong with being that short. I mean, me personally, I'm not very tall either. I don't give a crap though. Height is height. You get the height that you get when you're born, and that's that. I could never in a million years be insecure enough to get my legs broken so I can have a couple inches of extra height and never be able to move the same again. I will gladly keep my average height, okay? I can't believe there's people out there doing crap like that. But then again, at the same time, I'll be honest, I can't believe there's people who actually give that much crap about their height. The height you got is the height you got, and that's it. You can't change it, so why worry about it, you know? That's how I see things, at least. I know not everybody sees things that way, but for me personally, you feel what I'm saying? You can't change it, so why worry about it? You feel me? Yeah, I ain't got, you know what I mean, Mil V ain't how he's supposed to be. Like I said, probably like 5'11", 6 foot. Big nigga, man. Big prison built dude. BG 400. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? BG is his initials. 400 is his block. Simple. BG 400. It's like my other character, TC 200. I like fucking robots. Those are two actual characters though. BG 400, TC 200. TC 200 is rolling 60s. BG is I forgot. No, not Inglewood. No, that is Inglewood, if I'm not mistaken. I got Damu, she's Crenshaw, Mafia. OGV is rolling 60s out of Watts, if I'm not mistaken. Then I got AD, she's rolling 20s. And I got a lot of gang member characters, believe it or not. Then there's East LAV, she's Serenials 13. Because they're all in Night City, I wanted it to make the most sense. I wanted their stories to make the perfect sense. They're in Night City, okay? They in Cali. Obviously, most of these people who are coming out of bad areas are going to fall within that. Now, of course, that's not all of my characters, because that's like Mama V here. She wasn't too big of a fan of the fact that her husband was doing his crippin' thing, and then it moved over to her daughter. But you know, that was Cali living, so it's like, hey, it is what it is. That's how a lot of people think, believe it or not. Like, you know, it is what it is. It's the life you grow up in. It is what it is. Can you leave it behind? Can you choose not to pick it up? Of course. But a lot of people do. Some people do because they feel they have no choice. Some people do because they think it's cool. People who do it because they think it's cool are typically the weakest. And because of someone being weak as fuck, that also means they could be the most dangerous, because that's the person who's quickest to prove that there's something. Okay, that's the person who'll be like, no, I'm tough, I'm hard, I'm gangster. So they'll shoot you, they'll shoot something for no dang reason. That, my good friends, is what you call a crash out. Or you got people who fucking... So you got gang members and you got gang bangers, right? Some of my characters are gang members, some of my characters are gang bangers. The difference between a gang member and a gang banger, a gang member is exactly what I said. They grew up in that life. I mean, their father was, their mother was, their grandpa was, all sold this, that, and that, okay? So then naturally, because your grandfather's a Crip, your grandmother, your father, your mother, naturally, you're gonna be next, okay? But that doesn't mean you really have to show off with it and, you know, do stupid things and you might rep it a little bit here and there, but you're never gonna make it the talk of the town, alright? This is the difference between somebody who wears fucking red or blue or green head to fucking toe, telling everybody and their mother how they're a gang member, versus someone who is actually that living in that life, but you'll never know until you somehow accidentally find out, or they, you know, they just so happen to say something about it this one time and boom, now you know. Or let's say it's like a good friend, you saw like a tattoo on them, you're like, oh shoot, that's a gang tattoo, and boom. You got gang bangers. These are the people who might have grown up in it, or people who came through late. Some people grow up in it and they fully fucking live it. That's their whole thing. They bleed, they eat, sleep, breathe. Alright, gang life. It's a dangerous person. Right? They will die behind that name, whether it's Serenos, whether it's 18th, whether it's Grip, whether it's Blood, whether it's fucking MS-13, whatever the fuck, they will die behind that crap. They will fucking live it to the fullest, and if you dare say anything against it, dude, that might be your life right there, boy. You know what I mean? And you got people who completely denounce it. Their whole family would be it, and they'd be like, nope, I ain't picking it up. Oh, I got other things I wish to do in life. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of those. But at the same time, it's the folks who choose to pick it up but don't go crazy with it. Those people aren't too bad at all, because they don't use it as a power trip. It's the people who use it as a power trip who are the ugh, you know. The folks who just, you know, it's a part of their life and that's it, that's that. Zero issues with those people. They'll never use it as a power trip. Like I said, you'll never even know until you accidentally find out. Like, you know, like I said, you might see a tattoo or something, but they'll never tell you. Lil Miss V, OG V. See, you got characters like my OG V. She lived. That is her entire life. And then I got other characters, or it was. Then I got other characters who, you know, they're more chill. That's like Mama V. Mama V here, okay? Her husband was, so naturally she would be associated with him. Her husband was about that life, okay? This is the 90s. So naturally, he gonna be rocking everything. Everything he rocking is blue. Flag hanging out the back pocket, alright? Rare Native American Crip, as where she, not so much. She wouldn't rock it. She wouldn't show it unless it was very necessary. I do 10? I think I did 10 already. I kind of like this photo here, so I might replace this with something else I'm seeing that I'm not liking quite as much. I feel like I didn't do enough for really close to her face. Like you gotta have a good balance. You gotta have some close, some far. You know? I don't think I did enough really close. But it's all a good mix of characters. You gotta have a good mix of characters. Some of your characters gotta be bad, some of your characters gotta be good. You can't have all good characters, because then that gets boring. Some of your characters gotta know each other, you know? Not all your characters are in completely different universes. Some of your characters should be able to know each other. I have many characters who all roll under the same title. Know each other and are good friends, you know? Yeah, your characters gotta be able to mesh, and then some characters can't mesh. Some characters can't mesh at all, you know what I'm saying? Some characters gotta be fucking... like, absolutely not. I don't mess with that fool. Not one bit. Some of your characters gotta be in war with each other. Oh, man. I just realized I still gotta figure out a good outfit for Panam, man. Long, look at the fit though, you know what I mean? It's got the original colors, look straight out of Red Dead, look straight out of old school. My eye is itching for some reason. Okay, I say look straight out of old school. The fuck does that mean? This is gonna be a laggy one to put together. So, we're gonna have to really focus on this one, because the lag is vicious. I don't know why it's lagging so much though. There's barely any fucking thing out here. There's nothing out here. Oh, there's the Aldecaldo camp underneath us, but that's about it. There's no reason for it to be lagging this hard. We had to give her a shorter hair because her afro was too big. Couldn't see the feathers. I might have to do this in regular ultra graphics. I'm gonna just have to put in a lot more extra work to make sure the lighting is as clean as possible. This lag is... I'll never get this done. I don't get why it's lagging so much. There's barely anything here. Look at this. Why is it freaking... Man, I gotta update my stuff, yo. If I had bigger, better options. Stronger graphics cards, stuff like that. Soon. Hopefully soon, you know. Well, forget a hopefully. We're just gonna keep this hustle up and we're gonna make that happen soon. Okay, finding Panam a casual outfit took about as long as I thought it would. What? This? Oh my goodness. My knee just popped loud as fuck. I was getting off the floor. I was sitting down too long, so I was kneeling on the floor. When I went to stand up, my dang knee exploded. I was so loud, I'm almost 100% sure the mic picked that up. Alright, boom. We found her a nice casual outfit, nothing too crazy. Alright. I don't want her to be wearing nothing insane. Alright, V's outfit is fairly normal. Alright. It's a little shorter, of course, than it would be in the real world. Because the person that made this, of course, had no intentions on it being 100% accurate. It's about, I'm gonna say probably like, I don't know. I can't say the accuracy. I wouldn't know. Okay. I'm not 100% sure on the accuracy. Alright, let me not sit here and act like I know. It seems like it might be accurate. Alright, so boom. Go ahead and get a bit more darkness here. Enhance that color a bit. At least for OGV here. Panam got that dark skin, so she don't really need too many enhancements. For V here, she's real pale. So if we have it too light, I got one issue. I very rarely put makeup on her. I like the lips. I'm not filling the eyebrows. And because we just took all this dang time to get Panam this outfit, we're definitely not gonna go back and change it. The eye makeup is not working for her. That's why I don't really put makeup on her very often. Yeah, see, she looks a million times better without the makeup. Because when you do put it on a character that you very rarely put it on, sometimes it don't look right, you know what I mean? I probably should have stuck with just the lips and that's it. Tried to go with another bit and you know what I mean, it just ain't work. You know what I mean? It just ain't work. Okay. Oop, I just hit the boomerang. Alright. Go with some poses here. It's a good thing I did indeed give her undergarment because don't know if just messed up right there. With a knife, she is a melee build. So knifing is something she does. So the main reason I went with a knifer build for V back in the day was because I knew that trying to shoot on an FPS, trying to shoot on a first-person game that isn't Call of Duty is going to be a serious struggle for me. So I was like, you know what? Instead of wasting our time attempting to make her anything other than a high-profile knife build. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't shoot on any game that's first person and not Call of Duty. I already know my shooting gonna be terrible. So I'm like, you know what? Let's not even waste the time. Let's just go ahead and make her melee if that's possible. When I booted up the game and I saw that there was melee talents, I'm like, yeah, it's on and popping. Okay, she about to be dirty nasty. Guess what? All these years later, she's still a fucking fantastic, unkillable Titan melee build. Alright. But then it ended up fitting because in her story, like I said, she was evil in her younger days, right? She would just pull up on people and fight them just because. She was tiny. She had all that dang anger in that little body, you know what I mean? Short man syndrome. She had that little man syndrome, okay? And it worked perfectly because as a melee build, that means naturally that she's a great fucking fighter. She go toe to toe with dang near anybody. Does that mean she's gonna win all the time? Of course not. You can't win them all. You're gonna give everybody a dang good fight. Okay. Short, stocky. There's some bad lighting going on here. I think that might be because her hand is inside of her arm. Let's see real quick. Okay, no, that's her actual body. Then I don't know what light that is that's causing that. Let me see here. It's not the accent light. We're gonna move about there to accent Panam's side here. This one. Oh, it was the accent light. Oh shoot, I didn't realize that. And boom, there we go. No more bad shadows. Now we have two great looking characters side by side. Do we want to go with low depth of field? Or do I go with high depth of field? Low is good, but the high is a little better. Let me see something here though real quick. There's not enough background lighting on this metal, I think. Test something real quick. This is that way out. Blast the light up a bit. Make it a little bit more tan. And duplicate it. Get a little bit more tan though, make that a little bit more sunlight like. Oops. Hide that and then duplicate. It's not going quite as far as I thought it would. This set of beams might be further back than I thought, so let's go ahead and delete that one. Take this one, disconnect it. I need it to be further. Oh, I'm spinning it around on accident. I need it to be further back. Oh. Needs to be just a bit more light back there. Duplicate. And then duplicate one more time for the one time. Boom! That looks quite a bit better. There's just no light there whatsoever. It wasn't looking right. We also got a bad shadow here on her face. Where's that coming from? And there we go. Blow, take that. That, my good friends, is another photo. Okay? I don't know what the fuck these shorts are and who wears them, but I'm like, they're leather. They have that brown. It should work pretty dang well. Real bison looking skin tone. Let me check the quality of that, and that photo is pretty. Both look great. Boom. Oops. Oops. Almost went to the World of Warcraft photos picture. I ain't got nothing in there. Unless it's thumbnail stuff. There's nothing there that I need to check. Okay, she's looking this way anyway, so let's put a smile on her face. I need to do some more edits with her and Mama V. I mean, I don't do enough with them too. Takes a minute to edit, but it's always worth it because it's swaggy as fuck having them two together. That's another thing I wanted to do. It's gonna be a hard thing to pull off, but I'm thinking if there is a youngster in this that will resemble her by the slightest, I can do an edit of her pops, and Mama V, and that would be cool as fuck. Problem is, I don't know if there is. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I don't be modeling crap, so I don't know. That's not something I can pull off my dang self. All right, and lighting is actually good because I didn't move them too much. Oh, never mind. We got a little bit of mixes going here through the arm region. Get that out the way real quick. I know one thing I was disappointed about, I ain't gonna lie. When this game had first dropped, outside of the people who were talking about, oh, the game is a buggy mess, and bought the crap for Xbox for some dang reason. Freaking Xbox One and PS4. Talking about, oh, the game is glitchy. Yeah. Usually gonna be pretty glitchy when you buy a next-gen game for an old-gen console. I don't know what the fuck people was thinking with that one. So when you were getting past the messes of people who bought new games for old consoles, you had a lot of people talking about Panam this, Panam that. I ain't know who she was yet. I never got to that part of the mission. Like, who is Panam, man? So I saw a video, right? I'm like, oh shoot, where's the dark chocolate lady? I didn't know she was native at the time. I mean, she's still chocolate. She's just not black chocolate. I mean, still chocolate though. You know what I mean? But I'm like, that is one pretty character. And when Lil Miss V get out there, okay, she gonna have that. I was wrong. It's the one mission, without spoiling too much. It's the one mission where you're helping Panam, and y'all out in the night desert during that windstorm. And she talking about it's mad cold, and you gotta set up the heater. And she puts her legs on your character's lap. I'm like, wait, is this the part? And then she turned down V. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh shoot, what did I do wrong? So I went back, I looked it up. He was talking about gotta be male V. I was like, ooh. I was like, yeah, dog. I had respected it for a long time. But then people kept hitting me up at the time when I was doing playthroughs for that. They kept hitting me up. They're like, yo, you know what I mean? We need to see that scene. I'm like, but I don't have a male character. Not at the time, I didn't. And when I finally did, I had BG400. But I had him with T-Bug, okay? He a dude from the streets. A black man from the streets. Obviously, he gonna be with a black woman, okay? Obviously. That's just how it works. So I'm like, he with Bug, though. Even though Bug doesn't last very long. Okay, Bug, you know, her story ends pretty fast. Yeah, people talking about, oh, is T-Bug secretly still alive? Kinda fucking doubt it. She got her brain fried. So, you know, that's that net running activity. She got her dang brain roasted. Typically, when, you know, something traumatic happens to the brain, it's real bad. But when someone sends, you know, a neural virus or whatever to your brain card and fry it, you feel what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of somebody putting literal flames inside of your brain. You not really gonna survive, okay? Her scream was very appropriate to how she got her brains fried. So even though she didn't last very long, I'm like, he gonna stay faithful to the Bug, alright? He gonna stay faithful to the bald head chocolate lady, alright? You know what I mean? So I'm like, how do I fix this? To no surprise whatsoever, okay? To no surprise at all. People had a mod where Lady V and Panam could tangle, so I had got that at the time for the playthrough. I'm like, boom, there you go, peoples. Panam and Lil Miss V. And which I'm probably gonna have to do with this time around too, now that I'm thinking about it. Probably gonna be what people, I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of those scenes. I was kind of gonna do it anyways, just for the, because there's gonna be there should be 3 episodes of the Cyberpunk playthrough. That should be the main story, side missions, which where a lot of those will occur, and then Phantom Liberty. That's my plans on how I'm gonna do that. So it should be that way. Unless I mess something up. I'm messing up right now, actually. I always make Panam significantly taller. I don't know why. She always gives me tall, real tall vibes, okay? Now, Lil Miss V, reason why she's called Lil Miss V. Number 1, V is actually the shortest. As far as I can tell. She always looking up at everybody, and everybody's always looking slightly down at her. So Judy always put her around like 5'6" or so. And I'm gonna say she always gives me tall people vibes. So I'm gonna say she always gives off the vibes of someone who's probably like 5'10", 5'10", 5'11", maybe real tall lady. So I always make her and Judy well taller than V. But I kind of forgot, so we're gonna have to keep her where she is right now. For now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm far away. This is the downside to doing photos on ultra quality. Is as you can see, we're having a lot of shadow mixing here. This doesn't happen when you're on ray tracing ultra, but for some reason it's lagging like crazy. I don't understand why though. There's nothing out here. But I'm thinking it might be grasses and stuff like that causing issues. Okay, boom. Fixed it. Okay, let's did we just do this one? Oh no. Go ahead and change Panam's face. I like to make OGV, she always has a straightforward face, and I like to do that a lot with Panam because they have very great resting faces. They don't need to do a lot of smiling and all that. Judy, I always make her smile a lot because she just looks great when she smiles. She's a very happy looking character. Okay, so I'm always making her smile. Certain characters, they just have those proper resting faces where they don't really need to smile too much. I'm not the biggest fan of Panam's pose, actually. It's not really working with what V is doing. See, there we go. Much better. Put that right about there. Panam always reminds me of Rihanna. I ain't gonna lie. Okay? Not that that's a bad thing, of course. Rihanna is a very gorgeous lady. But she always reminds me of her. The way the dreads is, the skin tone, just always reminded me of her. I know when I was younger, though, I had a crush on Rihanna for sure. I think most youngsters did. That's no surprise. I'm sure a lot of dudes still do. It's a great looking lady. Simple as that. Got that big old forehead, but other than that, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with a big forehead. Boom. Blah. Dude, somebody I used to know, that's all he would say. Hey, some ladies out there got big heads. That's fine. Because then they have more face to display. More prettier face to show. Well, you know what? You kind of got a point. It might, I don't know which way you're saying it. The way I'm thinking of it is, you might be right. You know what I mean? A bigger head means a bigger, prettier face. That crap used to make me laugh, though, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, oh, you would be thinking about it like that. I see a fool with a big head. It's like, hey, you a big head fool, you know? But then I learned, you know, some people just got big heads. And that's when I got older and I realized, you know what? I got a big freaking head. I can't even talk. Check that photo real quick, make sure the quality is clean. Alright, boom. Might have to reduce the sharpness a little bit. You see, Panam too also has that face where it always kind of looks like she has a slight smile going on, so you really don't have to make her smile much. She kind of already does a little bit in her way. Let's see here. Go back to this one. I actually like them two staring at the camera, because they just good friends. So I never make them really do too much with each other. They're just good friends. V and Judy, on the other hand, because that was the actual allowed what the heck you call it, relationship for your characters. These two I tend to make very friend-like poses. They're just friends. That's all. Good friends. Therefore, I never do nothing crazy with these two. Two good friends. That's it. Nothing crazy. Nothing over the top. Okay, nothing spectacular. Just two friends posing and modeling together. Simple as that. Nothing crazy. Because it ain't canon, you know, that these two are together. Therefore, I like to keep it that way. I like to keep some bit of normality, you know. Some bit of normality between characters. Not all characters can be with a name. Therefore, I respect the laws of the story written. I know most people are like, I don't give a crap about that story. I don't blame you. Panam is a great fucking looking character. before my little line here. My little storyline here. And ain't that therefore keep it that way. V and Judy, you know. Let's move her to the side here because her hand is right in between her dang booty. Like I just said, you know what I mean? I just said they wasn't supposed to be like that. And boom, the very next joint. Move her to the side a bit. There we go. Well, it ain't touching. Have her looking away from the camera for that one time. Actually, let's have her looking at the camera. Take Ma'am the other way. They're actually both rocking these fits very well. Alright. Panam's fit was completely out of nowhere. I had to make something work and she's still rocking the crap. Guess that's not too surprising though. Get down just a tiny bit. See, Panam has a very serious and looking face, much like my character. It's kind of on purpose too. My character started, you know, Cyberpunk was brand spanking new. We ain't know what the fuck was gonna go down yet. So at first, I was just creating a character. I'm like, alright, you know, let me create a character that would fit within the world that sounds like Cyberpunk. I was in for something though. I ain't know the game was gonna be like this. Number one, I didn't know it was supposed to be set dead smack in the Cali, which was perfect for the Watts storyline, because it is literally right there, if I'm remembering correctly. Got bad shadows on her hand here. I don't know where that's coming from though. I'm like, boom, that's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna have a little hood lady. Then I realized the area, all the area and the location that it's in. Be perfect for her to be hood, especially with Haywood being right there. Some people probably wondering, why did I go with the Native American route? To me, it was more fitting. She was dark haired with more of a, she's pale, but she has more of a tan pale. Then I gave her freckles, the darker freckles, which means that character has, what the fuck is that on my desk? That means the character has some form of light amount of melanin. I'm like, boom, a darker haired character with bright crystal gray eyes. The Native American would fit, but clearly she's not going to be full Native Americans. Now I know there are a lot of Native Americans who have more pale skin. Shoot, I used to know a Native American. He had real pale skin, but he had long dark hair. I actually mostly got the idea of her from him, because the first time we had met was way back in the day on the Xbox. We was both young as fuck. I met him on Black Ops 2. And when we had first seen each other, he was a very pale Native American. But you could very clearly tell that he was indeed Native American. He wasn't white, that's for sure. He was just real pale. Ain't no way in the world you could ever mistake him for being white. He was a pale, tall, Native American kid with dumb long black hair. So I'm like, you know what? She looks a lot like him. A lot like him. So I'm like, you know what? Boom. I like the idea of her being native as a California resident. She has long, thick, curly hair. A lot of Native American folks tend to have thicker hair, much like Panam here. And shoot, when I was in middle school, I knew another Native American. She was more of what you would expect, a darker tone. Pretty much like about Panam's skin tone. Her name was America. I remember her name. Her name was America. I met her in school back in the day. She had long, dark hair. I'm like, boom, you know what? That would fit. It would fit. But I'm like, she's a little... What the heck is that in her ear? I forgot she had the blunt. She had the blunt in her ear. I'm like, she's a little pale though, so she gotta be... She's probably gonna have to be more mixed. I'm like, what's a good fit? What is a darker white race? So I looked up at the northeast white races. That's your Greek folks, your Hungarian folks. I'm like, boom, let's go Greek. Because of her dark, long, thick hair, Greek would work perfectly. I'm like, boom, her pops could be half native, half Greek. She'll look like her father. Her mother will be full native. Blau. You know what I'm saying? They straight out of Watts. I didn't add no chairs here. I should have added some chairs. Even have a chair that would fit up here. Not the most space, as you can see. Boom, that's how this character's theme came to be, because at first she was just a white character that I was making. Gave her long black hair and a bunch of tattoos, because I'm like, boom, cyberpunk. But then I realized that these tattoos I gave her are very Latin. Dang near every tattoo on her is Latin. So I'm like, okay, well, boom, that's where I made the mistake number one. For some of y'all might remember back in the day, you couldn't change your character. Once you had made them, that was it. So I'm like, okay, I have this pale tan skinned character with long curly black hair, a bunch of Latin tattoos. Like she ain't looking all that white. She just looks like a pale something. I'm like, boom, let's go half Native American. That is how she came to be. Outside of the fact that, you know, brand spanking new to the game. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of seated poses, but I ain't got no dang chairs, baby. Unless I do like literal seated poses. Back to Vding. Go back to Vding in that instance then. Yeah, boom. That is how this character's theme came to be. Especially when you give your character a massive afro, a large black afro. You know, not too many white folks can hold an afro. Native Americans can. Some Native Americans can. I'm like, okay. A lot of white races in the northeastern region, they got thick curly hair. Your Greek, like I said, your Greeks, your Hungarian folks. I was gonna go Italian at first, but I was like, nah. Greeks have a very specific look about them that she can easily fit. If I said that she was supposed to be a Greek character, it wouldn't be too hard to, oh goodness, it wouldn't be too hard to be like, oh yeah, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? So I went boom, half Greek, half Native, because of all the Latin tattoos, which obviously some, if you're a Native American who's born around a lot of Latinos, you're definitely gonna be within that same style of them. I done seen that a million times, especially as someone who grew up on the West Coast his entire life. I done seen a million Cholo Native Americans. That's nothing new to me at all. I'm like, boom, perfect. Cholo Native Americans are a decently common occurrence, whether it's because they chose to look like that or because they felt that that's the only way to fit in, which is the more unfortunate side. But there's a lot of Native American folks who are like that as well. It's the only way they feel they can fit in, which is pretty unfortunate. You know, that's in a lot of different races. That's like a lot of black folks, unfortunately, feeling that gang is the only way to fit in. Like, not really. That's what a lot of folks. Why she got that dang pistol? She ain't supposed to have no pistol. You a slice and dice type. Where the fuck is all my seated poses? I've been scrolling forever, dude. Okay, there we go. No, yeah, that is a unfortunate common thing within a lot of races. Thinking that the only way you could fit in is either, you know, fitting in with by doing what everybody else is doing, or, you know, following some sort of life that you probably shouldn't. Luckily for me, you know, I grew up in some bad areas, but I have two parents who have steered me in the right direction. I just gotta give me some money. Feel what I'm saying? I got the hustle. I just gotta kill my indecisiveness. I am unfortunately one of many people who suffer from indecisiveness. I will do one thing and then be like, nah, people are not gonna feel that, and then I'll kill it, even though people were definitely feeling it. That is the exact reason why this channel was a photography channel, then it turned into a gaming channel, then it turned into a photography channel, then it turned into a gaming channel, and now it's back into a photography channel. But because I've killed that indecisiveness, this is 100% where it'll be staying. I don't give a crap if, you know, I don't give a crap, man. It ain't changing this time. We keeping it right the fuck where it is. Oh shoot, I didn't see the bad shadow on her arm. I ain't see the bad shadow. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen this time. Alright. That's factuals. That's actuals and factuals. You ain't gotta worry about a dang thing. I know some people probably thinking, you gonna change it again? Nope. Not this fucking time. It's staying right where I want it to be, and that is photography. Virtual, real life. Sometimes AI. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? These photo sessions will be common occurrence. That's why I never deleted any of the old ones. Because I always knew at the back of my mind, I'm like, I know which joint I want to do. I just don't know if people gonna feel it. But that's the stupid part about indecisiveness. Is people been feeling it. I gained 6. This channel was sitting at about 800 subscribers when I was doing the gaming content. When I was doing the photography stuff, I boosted it up a bit. About 800-ish subscriber range. I stopped the photography stuff and I moved back to gaming. Gained a little bit of subscribers, probably went to about 830, and then I switched it again to the photography. When I was doing the photography, the channel gained 600 subscribers. What did I do? I let my indecisiveness win for once again. And I changed it back to gaming. Stagnated the crap out of the channel. I mean, you could go back and see some of the older videos now. They only got like fucking 20 views. And that's because YouTube, if you keep deleting and then re-uploading stuff and then deleting stuff and then re-uploading stuff, they lose faith in your channel, so they stop sending it out to people. Okay, unfortunately, I learned that the hard way back in the day with my music channel. Now that was for an obvious reason. I was uploading random records and YouTube felt that they didn't want to pay me for it anymore. So I didn't have a choice. I wasn't getting paid anymore. Records are not that cheap, okay? And it's cheap when you only want to buy one vinyl record is like, 10 to 20 bucks, but when you need to buy like 5, 6, 7 of them, and that's a price. That's a price that stacks up. It ain't nice when it's stacked, alright? It's not a price you want to keep seeing stacked. So, naturally, I'm like, well, gotta delete everything. I'm gonna re-upload my own crap. Now, of course, somebody might be thinking, well, you didn't have to delete all the random records. Which is true. I didn't have to. But, I mean, think about it, alright? If you are constantly making beats, as much beats as I make, you're like, okay, well, they're not paying me for this stuff no more, so surely it would make the most sense to upload my own beats. Why would I keep these random records up? Right? And then number 2, some of that crap was boo-boo. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. Some of that music was not... Are they doing the same pose? They're not, but it's just very similar. Oh, yeah, they're not doing the same pose. It's just that similar. Oh, shoot, we're gonna use it. It's a good pose. Can't complain. You know what I mean? When you got straight heater beats of your own, like, why the fuck am I still uploading other people's stuff? Why should I be uploading my own stuff? What I didn't know was if you mass delete a bunch of videos while sitting at 10,000 subscribers, YouTube will probably never send those subscribers another video ever again. So now when you go to my music channel, you see it says 11,000 subscribers. Realistically, I probably got like fucking 100 or less. Because that's how badly they killed the channel off once I deleted all the videos, which is, somebody might think, they're like, well, didn't YouTube kind of play you on that? Yes. Yes, they did. It's not like they wrote it in a handbook that if you delete videos, they'll stop sharing your videos with your subscribers. Okay? They ain't say all that. Had I known, it would have been a much slower deletion process. The videos would have got deleted slowly over time. Plus the fact that some of that crap was giving me copyright strikes and I was going to lose the channel. I'm like, ain't no way in the world I'm about to sit here and lose my oldest channel. That can't happen, that won't happen, I can't let that happen. That was another reason I deleted all the stuff, was because I was about to lose my oldest YouTube channel. I was not willing to let that happen. But it's all good, get the money up, get some ads, build a new base, and then they'll favor the music for my music, not people who subscribed because of a couple of viral records I had back in the day. So the channel got that high because back when I was uploading that stuff, a few of those songs that I had uploaded got millions of views. There was a Nujabi's joint, a Mad Lib joint, a Big Pun joint. If I'm remembering correctly, the Nujabi's joint was the highest at about 7 million viewers. Or not viewers, what the fuck? 7 million views. Then the second highest was a Mad Lib instrumental at about 4 or 5 million. The third highest was a Big Pun joint at 1.2 million, if I'm remembering correctly. And another in the fourth biggest was another Big Pun joint at about 500, and then a Cypress Hill at about 400,000. So some pretty heavy views. Now, I know somebody thinking, why in the world would you delete millions of views of stuff? It wasn't mine. That's why. It wasn't mine. It did nothing, absolutely nothing for me. And I know, you know, some people think about the numbers and the bigness of it and the fame of it, but it's like, me personally, I don't give a crap about fame. For me, I'm more of a financial type of person. I can go my entire life without my face being seen, and I'll be perfectly fucking fine. However, going my entire life, you know, living this broke life that a lot of us are stuck in, not a fan. Not a fan at all. I need some dollars. I need them dollars circulating. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this by way of all of my creations. It wasn't even going to take a long time, which is the crazy part. It's not like it was actually a long process. They tell you that sometimes when you're doing things that you might want to do, the process can take a long time. Believe it or not, it can, depending on what you're doing. The crazy thing is, and why I hate the, you know, why so many of us suffer from the indecisiveness, is because it actually wasn't taking that long. My indecisiveness killed it multiple times, where it was flourishing, and then, you know, it's like you got this pond that you created in your backyard, and it's got a beautiful flourishing life, and you're like, you know what, I don't want this pond anymore, and you just absolutely destroy it. You pour a fucking big bottle of bleach in it, and you absolutely destroy the pond. And then you're like, you know what, I want a pond again. So then you start making it again. And then you destroy it again. And then you make it again, and then you destroy it again. And then each and every time the pond comes back less impressive. That is essentially what I was doing. Indecisiveness is one of the fucking worst things. A lot of people talk about procrastination. Indecisiveness is just as fucking bad, man. You'll have something popping and then you'll kill it because you think it's not doing something. Or you're like, you know, this should be that, and then I'll make this that. But then you're like, you do it again, you're like, no, I'm gonna make this that, and then this will be that. And then you do it again and you keep doing it, it's like, okay, I'm killing my progress. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fix this indecisive bullcrap. Because indecisiveness is really just you playing in your own head. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna freaking fix it. The forceful way. And no matter what new idea comes to my dang brain, I ain't gonna go through with it. I'm gonna stick to what the fuck I had going. How perfect it was working. And that's that. Okay? No more will I allow my indecisiveness to fucking absolutely duke you on whatever the fuck I'm doing. Because that's essentially what indecisiveness is. You got something popping and then you switch it because it's like, no, that's not gonna work as well as this. But then you realize, you know what, it was working quite well. So then you switch it again. Then you're like, no, but then this might work better. So then you switch it again. That's essentially what I did. I stunted my growth on so many different occasions with this YouTube stuff. Who knows how many dang subscribers I would have by now had I not done that. Man, shoot, I'd probably be at like 5K right now, maybe more. But what happens is the indecisiveness kills the growth, because now what you could have had is now gone, because now the people who were there to watch what you were doing don't know what the fuck you're trying to do anymore. So they don't even tune in no more. And I don't blame them, of course. Because that's annoying as fuck. It's like, okay, well, I subscribed to this dude for this, but he's uploading this? And then you got those few who are like die hard and they're like, man, no matter what you upload, I'm gonna watch. I just love what you do that much. And then you realize it's like, dang, I'm messing the fuck up. I'm messing up. I got people who pull up to my Warcraft streams all the time. It's the same name, same time, each and every dang time. And I dang near guarantee, unless they don't get the notification, I guarantee if I was to stream something on this channel or my gaming channel, they would probably pull up because it's not the first time they have. Boom, that's a full 10. That dang indecisiveness. That is a full 10 of very clean photos with 2 gorgeous characters. Boom. Now we move on to our last Native American character, and we continue our conversation there. That one's gonna be saucy. You know what I'm saying? It's always saucy with that character. Alright, this outfit's a bit small, so we're gonna have to be careful here. Alright, we got Native V in the building. I'm disappointed though. Wasn't a single freaking tent to be found, no campfires, nothing, man. So I got gonna be more like a pinup style. I mean, all of this has been pinup style pretty much, but that's the best I got. Okay, there's nothing. There's no campfires. There's no small fires. I was at least gonna make my own campfire. There's nothing. Alright, all the fire was huge as fuck, and you couldn't resize them. Wait, fire's small. How did I miss that? Hold on. How small are we talking? Is it actually small, or am my character gonna burn to death while we taking photos? Oh no, sure enough, that's a small fire. Well, hold up, man. Is there like wood and stuff? Wait. What if I put that on this? I was looking for this stuff. It doesn't exist. I didn't want the smoke in there because the smoke is going to cause real bad lighting. Wait, hold on. I think I just figured this out. I don't know how I just figured this out, but I think I figured it out, folks. Hold on. Hold on. We ain't got no fire, no tents, no proper tents at least. The type of tents I wanted. I think I might be looking for too much old world stuff though. Hold on. Okay, this fire actually isn't as big as I thought. It might actually be the fire that's used on this. I just spun the fire around on accident. A little intense, but I mean, the work. And now let's get her covers and sheets and stuff and slide them on over here. Let me see if they got some decent tents though. They should. I don't see why they wouldn't. I was looking for the big tents though, actually, now that I don't think about it. The big tents that is used here, because this is Pan Am's spot, just minus all the, dang, there's too much grass here. But all the tents are gone. I wanted nothing here. I wanted to use Pan Am's spot because it's a good spot, minus every NPC here though. I wanted to just be her. That slight bit of grass right there, but I think it'll work fine. I need a big tent though, man. Where the big tents at, man? Let me see. Tent. In A. B. Alright. If it was anything but camel print, that would be a decent tent. It looks more woodsy, you know, it looks like someone who actually, you know, stays out, oh shoot, who actually stays out in the wilderness often. The other two look like, oh, we're just camping for fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is not a large tent, so I wouldn't expect very much good living out of it, but it's better than the other two. You know what's funny? I just did all that, you probably ain't even gonna see that dang fire. Oh, I'm moving the tent. Excellent. Now, I was gonna make a background setup and all that, but I am running short for time here. So I'm like, okay, let me just go out in the world. That should be pretty easy. Here we are, out in the world. Oh, actually, you can see the fire quite well. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. You see pretty good. Let's get this done nice, quick, and fast, because, yeah, I'm short for time here. Getting late. Gotta do my late night exercises and get some dang sleep. Hot as fuck, though. These late night exercises gonna be a little uncomfortable. It is warm. Alright, and boom. It's a very golden tan sunlight we got going on, too. You look great. And then boom. You ready to go now? The downside to always giving your characters curly hair is there's not a whole lot of curly haired options. When you do give your characters curly hair, now you have to keep that curly hair up. If you don't, it doesn't look right. Something told me when I first made this character, I was like, you know what? I should probably give her straighter hair. We already have one native character with curly hair. Keeping that character's hair curly is a pain. So let's not do it with another character. Guess what I did? I gave her curly hair. Now I've taken way too many pictures to change her hair color or hair texture. You don't just get to have curly hair and then suddenly out of nowhere, boom, your hair is straight. That ain't how it works. You got curly hair, so now she kind of stuck with it. I also love how Red Dead Redemption this looks. Not that you can have any outfit like this in Red Dead, but it's just giving off some real Red Dead vibes, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely no outfits like this in Red Dead. Unless people modding it or something. I need to get Red Dead for offline. I might mess around and mod that. I'm sure people got great graphics and I'm sure I can do some real good photography. It's online. Red Dead Online's camera controls fucking sucks. It's trash, man. Now, obviously, you know, Red Dead ain't no photography game. Could have made the photo mode a little better than that, you know. Photo mode on there is kind of cool. Light on her just a little bit. We don't want to lose too much of her golden skin tone. We also don't need it so bright. Head. Boom. There she go. Looking straight fire. Let's zoom in a little bit. There's a bit of outlining going on. Sun there, so we're gonna have to reduce our depth of field a bit, which is unfortunate because I like the heavier depth of field. So let's go with about 35. Actually, no, we should be able to do about 25. Yeah, 25. This is crispy clean. Now let's get that lighting down pat because there's a bit of bad lighting underneath her shoulder here. Or underneath her arm. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't make another character with dense curly hair. Because it's not easy. I already got to deal with it, you know, with all my black characters. You know what I'm saying? I done did it for a couple of my Spanish characters, just one of my Spanish characters, and now 2 of my Native American characters. So boom, I made it harder because not a lot of people out here making curly hair characters, you know. Most folks' characters are Asian or white. Now, of course, I know there's Asian races out there that can have thick curly hair, but it ain't super common. So naturally, a lot of straight hairs, not a lot of curly head options. There was one person that was making a lot of curly head options. They ain't made any new hairstyles in a hot minute, unfortunately. Oh, we had that luxury of someone who was making good curly black hairstyles that could fit for certain other curly headed races. Usually depending on how hood that character is, because there's a lot of hood hairstyles, so the person who was making those hairstyles was definitely black. Because it's either black people rocking it, or somebody who lived around a lot of black people rocking it. But they ain't made nothing new in a hot minute, so I was like, dang. Man down. Man or woman down. We had somebody. But they gone. Ain't made nothing new in a minute, boy. in a little minute, man. We have a slight issue. I don't know if y'all notice it, but her beads are floating upward and not downward. It's improper physics. There's not a whole lot I can do about that because I didn't make the mod, so I wouldn't even know where to begin on fixing that. It looked good though, so we're gonna stick with it. You know what I'm saying? This was a good one right here. Okay, last episode with the chocolate characters part 2, that one came out straight heat. Now we got native characters part 2 coming out heat, man. I mean, I always make sure I keep it tip top. I don't ever want to give y'all no bull crap, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't be having ideas. For this one, I definitely had the ideas. They're coming out phenomenal. Have her looking away from the camera for this one. I wish you got to do this level of swag on Red Dead because it would be real official looking, much like this. But you cannot. The photo mode ain't this good. Photo mode, not a lot of games photo modes are coming close to Cyberpunk, which to me was one of the crazier features I did not expect out of Cyberpunk because of what Cyberpunk was supposed to be. You know, this is a hard story game, so I never in a million years would have expected such an incredible photo mode from a hard story game. Now, of course, I do have a mod that is making it even better, but the base photo mode, you're still capable of some pretty good stuff, okay? I was taking some fair, decent photos back in the day with the base photo mode. It's not impossible, that's for sure. So then, got people make the mods that make the photo mode even better. I'm sure actually somebody probably got a mod for Red Dead. I gotta get it though. But it's probably gonna be a later down the line thing. Because right now I'm trying to get my hands on Enzoy. Not really trying. I'm waiting for the dang money to come through. Taking a little long. But when it does, I'm gonna have my hands on it. Actually, push the highlight light down toward her face. There. But yeah, I'm gonna get my hands on Enzoy because that game's more meant for stuff like this. So it'll be a lot easier to deal with. Red Dead is not really meant for this, so probably not gonna be quite as easy and breezy to take pictures. Then I would still have to remake my online character to offline, which is gonna be a process in itself. Then, because of the way Red Dead works, the character's body parts are in even more pieces than GTA is. So, getting her to sit over Arthur's body is not going to be an easy task, I'm sure. Then, because there's so many different body types and there's so many different body parts in Red Dead, I'm sure I'm going to have to find a heavier built character so that my character can fit over that. Because my character is a heavier built character. I mean, she Miss Thickums. So, there's a lot that's most likely going to have to be done when I get around to that. Now, hold on, I just realized we done made her sit down for all these. Oh wait, okay, never mind. We only on number 4. So number 5, and then we're going to make her stand for the rest of them. Let's get at least one smile going on here. She ain't smiled in a single one of these. She's also one of those characters that has a very good looking serious face, so I tend not to make her smile super often either. But then again, any gorgeous character will look perfectly fine making them smile, you know. Okay, put a smile on her. Change that her head, the way she's looking. Fitting all that, so there we go. That's much better. Okay, zoom that out from here so we can get a good proper full body going. Zoom that in a bit. Let's fix up that lighting. A lot of bad shadows going on. Back it up a little bit. Get right about there. Shadows. But yeah, Red Dead ain't really meant for stuff like that. So, you know, it's either go with Red Dead and have a stressful modding time because modding Rockstar games are, at least with GTA. I don't know about Red Dead yet. I just know with the way Red Dead works, because the way you have to change your character's clothes makes it pretty obvious that it's like GTA, but maybe possibly a little worse. If I get on GTA right now, GTA Offline right now, all I gotta do to turn Michael into one of my online characters is to quite literally simply choose a free mode character, and then boom, that's it. With Red Dead, I don't know if it works the same, and because the way your character dresses on online, I have a good reason to believe that it's not gonna be the same. Not gonna be as easy. I wish I would have already had Red Dead Offline, but if I'm not mistaken, your Red Dead character is in more pieces than a GTA character is. A GTA character is in a lot of pieces. So when you're modding for that, and then plus Arthur being having a big man build, man, it's not gonna be no easy task. Okay, Arthur is quite a bit bigger than most of the people around him. Him, Charles, and a couple of people you meet throughout the storyline, especially that one big nigga that you gotta fight. It was a long time ago since I've done it, but there's some big fool you gotta fight on Arthur. He's a bit bigger than Arthur. If I had to take a wild guess, Arthur is a fairly large man for that year. I'm gonna say he probably, if you put him at his biggest, he would probably be what, like 6 foot, 6'2" maybe, within that region. Probably a solid 230, 240. Charles probably a little bigger than that. That man is probably, if I'm not mistaken, people say that man was probably in the 6'7" region. So he's a very large man. A couple of big characters in Red Dead. Problem is with GTA is everyone, oh no, with Rockstar Games, everyone who has their own body type has a million pieces that come with their body type. And that's already letting me know. That's exactly how GTA works. That's already letting me know that Red Dead is gonna be working pain to modify. I don't know if I'm willing to do that yet, because with Enzoy, all I gotta do is hop on, create a character, and boom. That process is done and complete. Because that is literally what Enzoy is meant for. Is a Sims, half photo studio game. Crap you can do on that game is immaculate. Red Dead is a story game. Okay? Got his little photo mode, but for like character modding and all that, I'm sure that's a scarce thing that you gotta be specifically looking for. And I don't know how many people doing it. Then again, I don't own the game, so I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Red Dead's graphics are so freaking amazing. Matter of fact, even if I can't use Red Dead for character purposes, it'll definitely be good for world purposes. That's for sure. Red Dead has one of the prettiest worlds in gaming. So, I can't use it for character. Definitely use it for world. That's what most of my Red Dead photos are any dang ways. Outside of the couple selfies and stills that I've done on my main character, Yelena, over there. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I do. Good old Red Dead is world photos because the map is so dang gorgeous. That would be cool as fuck to do some character photos too on a game that's not really meant for it. People be like, yo, what the fuck? How you do that, son? Do that. Certain times when stuff ain't really meant for it and you pull it off, people be fucking amazed and astounded, inspired. Oh, her little fit, you know what I'm saying? People be amazed. They be like, yo, how the fuck you pull that off, son? How you pull that off, dude? I'm trying to hurry up because I do want a cool little late night snack before I do my exercise and 10 tons of water. I probably shouldn't be doing. Or going to sleep. It's a good way to wake up in the middle of the night and have to use the bathroom, and then you try to go back to sleep and it's never the same. Never the same. I mean, you try to go back to sleep and it just, oh boy. Boy. That neck. What the fuck? Yo. I forgot who modeled this, but man, that neck crazy as fuck. Let's do just eyes. Yeah, here we go. Go far out for this one. We haven't done very many far out ones. Far out. Face the camera this direction. Put the sun directly behind her back. The Great Plains. That's one of my favorite hunting spots in good old Red Dead. Okay, that's where that's coming from. Get the fuck out of here, man. I can't see. Oh. Wait, dog. They reset her. Never even moved her. What's that about, huh? My favorite hunting spot out in good old Red Dead, boy. That Great Plains, boy. I ain't been on there in a hot minute. And I know I messed up because I was just on there a few days ago on Xbox to cop whatever new items they had for free. And it said 3 times rewards on the trader role, which is exactly what the fuck I do. My character, Yelena, she is a trader. Okay, she trades not herbs, meats, leathers. And they're giving 3 times the rewards. I'm not on there. For good reason though. I've been busy. I've been real busy. Studying, recording mad videos too. That's what I'm gonna be doing tonight before I go to sleep. While I'm exercising is studying. Okay. I've been studying, then I've been recording these, editing Warcraft stuff. You know what I mean? Editing gaming videos, making thumbnails and crap. I don't know why I'm rolling my R so dang much. Move to another pack here. Let's not use too many in. Oh, shoot. And shoot, dude. I have to blur that. Of course, when that happens, nothing is ever showing. But you also have to be safe and aware of what you're doing here on good old YouTube. Or end up like those dang fools who was uploading crazy videos and then got upset when they got banned. Big surprise. You know? Surprised at how many people was doing that. Uploading some absolutely madness and being surprised when they get in trouble. Every time every time I tell this story, it's the main reason I always say this one, because it was the most ridiculous. This dude was upset that he couldn't upload a video of his fucking character on Fallout 4 naked. And with the physics, man. He was mad he couldn't upload a video of his character naked, fucking jiggling all over the dang place. It's like, dude, this is YouTube. You are surprised that you're not able to upload something like this is insanity to me. Somebody was like, why don't you upload it to Rumble? Rumble is not as censored and scary as YouTube. I'm like, dude, it's not about that. It's about the fact that your character is fully naked. You can't do stuff like that. You just can't, man. I just realized she got hand crap. Got that bull crap on her hand. You know what I mean? And a couple of times back in the day, people asked, yo, your characters, sometimes you make your characters wear crazy stuff, kind of like now. How is it that you get to keep it on YouTube and not get in trouble? Because there's a difference between, you know, having your character butt fucking naked with some dang physics on, and what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now. He looks great, yes. And that is the extent of it. This isn't for anything other than my photography purposes. This is why I be way the fuck back here. This is why I censor stuff that might be too far, because it's not the point of what I'm doing. Okay, this is why, you know, some people be sending me messages on my fucking DeviantArt asking for some craziness, and I gotta send them a message back. I'm like, no sir, that's not what I do. That's not the purpose of this. It is literally virtual modeling, really. And that's it. But having your character butt booty naked, bro, and being upset that YouTube is like, no sir, get this bullcrap off our website is craziness. This right here, this is pinup. Pinup has been a thing since forever. Half of us weren't even fucking born when pinup became a thing. I know dang well I wasn't. Shoot, my parents wasn't even born when pinup became a thing. The only difference between this and actual pinup is that this is virtual. Okay, this character we're looking at here, you don't exist. Pixels. That is the biggest difference. It is a gorgeous form of modeling. That's it. Alright? Uploading a video of your naked character, fully naked, y'all. I mean, she was fucking naked. No, you know what I mean? You see my character, she got the underwear on it. They might be a little small, but she is indeed dressed. None of her parts are fully visible at all. Not even her little jumps. Not even her little nips. Okay? Nothing. This man's character, y'all. I mean, and he had the balloon build too. You know, you got them people who make them ridiculously stupid looking characters with the fucking ultra tiny waistline, the oversized fucking booty and the balloon bitties. That's how his character was built. And I mean, they were wobbling all over the fucking place. I'm like, dude, seriously? You're upset that this can't be on YouTube. Man, this can't be on most websites. This can't be on Instagram. You might get away with it on Twitter. Apparently there's some craziness on Twitter. I wouldn't know. I don't condone, and I mean, well, not condone. I don't give a crap what people decide to do. I don't participate is a better way of saying it in that type of thing. So I wouldn't know personally. But apparently it does exist. Twitter, which doesn't really surprise me. It's Twitter. So I'm not even slightly surprised by that at all. That couldn't make it on Instagram. Definitely could make it on Facebook. Facebook is more degenerate than a lot of people realize. That's why I don't even be using Facebook outside of posting my videos. I don't use any social media, honestly. Any and all of my social media is used for business purposes only. If it doesn't pertain my gaming videos, my photography, or my music, I don't give a crap about social media. I'm saying, like I always say, if you ever got a message from somebody and said Jadam Legendary, guess what? That is not me. Not in a rude way, but I would never in a million years waste my time using social media as a form to be social. Never. Okay? Yeah, the best way you could hit me up is by leaving a comment on one of my videos and be like, yo man, what's going on? How you doing today? And I might be like, yo, I'm feeling good. How you feeling? And then you reply, and then boom, that's our little conversation. And that'll most likely be about it. But like messaging on Instagram, Twitters, I'd rather smoke crack, do a backflip, land on my neck and die before I use social media to be social. Yo, it's been your boy, Jadam Legendary. If you enjoyed this video, that's good. If you didn't enjoy this video, that's good. Either way, you watched it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, share with your people, join Legendary Clan Sports and become legendary. I'll do all things photography, real life, virtual, sometimes AI. Check out all the links in the description. You might find some stuff you might like. And with that being said, like I said, if you ever receive a message from Jadam Legendary, Jadam anything, and they're pretending to be me, I want you to know and understand this right now. It is not me. It would never be me. Social media is not social. It's a lot of goofiness going on here. Okay? You gotta relax. I promise you on everything I know and love, if you chilled off of social media, your stress levels go all the way to fuck down, baby. I'm out.